Hey everybody, it's Alex Slade here on Slade Sports Squad. Just want to give you guys a heads up that we do not own any of the rights to any of the music or audio clips we play on today's episode. Thanks, and I hope you enjoy.
If you haven't got problems, I feel bad for your son. I got 99 problems and a bitch ain't one.
Good morning. CBG Productions presents Slade Sports Squad. Yeah, I think I need to go ahead and change that a little bit, Still got us saying good morning there.
Yeah.
It's 5 o'clock in the evening. So, hey, everybody out there, David.
And this is Alex.
Hey, we're back here on the Squad Cast.
Yep.
Here to bring you some sports news, all the good stuff. First thing we're going to talk about today is your Denver Nuggets.
And man, those Denver Nuggets are playing some good ball right now.
Oh, they are.
7 of the last 3.
Yep.
And sitting dead even right now with Golden State.
Yeah, 7-3. Tied the top. They're on a 6-game win streak right now.
Just laid down the lot of those New York Knicks the other night.
Yeah, they did. They got another road game against Indiana tomorrow.
Yeah.
It'll be an afternoon game, 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Then they're back here. They have Detroit. Then they're back on the road for Houston and Oklahoma City. Those are 2 huge games right there.
Right.
And,
just before we get into it, I have one thing to say. I just want to clear the air for all of you haters out there that think that the Nuggets aren't the real deal. Just wait till playoff basketball comes, and I promise you're going to see something that a young team like this hasn't done since the Golden State Warriors. I promise. I mean, I'm not sitting here blowing smoke up someone's butt, but I'm just saying that this is a good basketball team with a lot of depth.
oh, yeah, this team is good. A lot of depth. I mean, they went through some problems. I personally think the problem was Isaiah Thomas. I think Coach Malone has since corrected that issue. Not Kevin Malone, right?
You're right.
Not from the office.
Not from the office, not Kevin Malone, don't.
So, yeah, I couldn't see Kevin Malone out there running the Nuggets.
Nah,
team.
probably not.
So
He can't even, do simple math, so I don't think that it would be a good idea for him to run a basketball team.
Right.
But Mike Malone, like you said, has fixed the problem since in Isaiah Thomas. Not that he's not a needed. Me and you disagree on this point. I know that, but I think that Isaiah Thomas adds a valuable thing to this team. I know that he's not the most prolific scorer that we've seen. Obviously, with the people that we have like Gary Harris, Jamal Murray, the Joker, even just the young guys that are stepping up in a time where we need them to step up. So, with that being said, I think that Isaiah Thomas, if he can settle into the role that we need him to be, then we shouldn't have a problem on this team.
And I think the thing is, I mean, Isaiah Thomas needs to stop forcing himself into the flow of the offense.
Right. It'll come naturally. You just got to move without the ball.
Yeah.
Set off-ball screens, on-ball screens. I know he's a smaller guy, but you got to do those little things.
And this is what the team does.
Open.
I mean, this team, they move the ball around.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of their fundamentals of their team is move the ball around.
Right.
You don't see them a lot of times just going down there. First guy who touches it is jacking it up, from wherever he's at.
No, I completely agree, and I don't think that jacking up a shot in any scenario is really a good look. I know that players do it when they're doing like heat checks or if they're seeing if they're in rhythm and stuff like that. But you really have to move within your offense, whether you're in transition, going out on the fast break, or if you're doing that half-court offense, and just slowing it down, trying to force the tempo on these other guys. Isaiah Thomas and other players, not just him, need to realize that they're doing that to put the team in the best position possible so that they can win the game, And if you're just jacking up shots, you're throwing off everybody, not just you, just the whole offensive rhythm. Because if you're not hitting those shots, then you don't have that positive momentum going forward into the later stages of the game. So with that being said, let's focus on some more positive things. So with minus Isaiah Thomas, there's some really young. Most 80% of our team is young players.
Oh yeah.
And they're all playing really great basketball. They're moving the ball. They're doing all the things that we were just saying that Isaiah Thomas isn't. And I think with that brings a lot of great basketball. And I think that's what people. I think that the only thing the Nuggets have to do at this point is be more consistent. If they can lock down the consistency of the way they play their game and the way they do things in and day out, then I think playoffs will be.
Artificial intelligence empowers us to feed the world without wrecking the planet.
Yeah, sorry about that. Had a little malfunction here.
Right.
I think the Nuggets, if they play their style basketball, they can compete with anybody. I still don't know if we can beat Golden State yet.
Right, but at least we're not getting swept.
We can go in here on April 2nd. We go in. We play we're playing the Golden State in Oakland. So if we can go in there and beat them, that's going to be a huge boost to the team.
Right.
Plus, it may give us a number 1 seed.
And that's just the thing. Yeah, exactly. And that's just the thing too, is we have to beat them. If we go in there and we end up losing that game, whether it's by a lot or a little, it doesn't matter. Really, I mean, going into the playoffs, you need that kind of momentum going into the playoffs.
No, I agree. I don't think right now that there are any moral victories in that game.
Right.
You can't go and say, well, we just lost by 3 points.
Right.
You know?
Now, it would have been different, a month ago when we played them last and they gone in there and it had been a close game and, Steph Curry does something he always does, wins the game late in the fourth quarter, or KD does the same thing. I get it. That's how their team runs. That's how it goes. They're a great basketball team. But no, we lost by something like 15 points that night.
Oh, yeah.
Which is unacceptable. I mean, we're a great basketball team, I think. I mean, and we've been talking about it all year. I think the age and the veteran presence on this basketball team is just an issue at this point. Now, would I be upset if we didn't make it to the finals? Yeah, I mean, it's my favorite basketball team. But the ultimate goal is to get as far as you can, as human possibly. All the resources, it's all got to be on the table. You got to play all your cards at this point. And if that means you only get to the Western Conference Finals, that should be something.
If Denver gets to the Western Conference Finals, this season is a huge success.
Right. Because like we've been talking about all year, is for the last 3 years before this season, they have done nothing but improve and get better and get better. And now you have a legitimate team with a legitimate coach that might be heading into the Western Conference Finals. It's only going to get better. We got a young team that's going to be here for a while because they're probably still on their first contracts and stuff like that.
Right.
Not asking for a lot of money, and we could easily make this into a pretty good basketball team for the next 5 to 6 years.
Oh, I agree. Even longer. I saw that, and let me know what you think about this, what your opinion is on this. And I believe you're the one who showed me the headline, but the Nuggets have contacted the Pelicans to talk about Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm. Well,
What's your thoughts?
Well, I think...
And he's not coming here this year.
Right. No, I mean, first off, I think just about everybody who's looking for an all-star player at this point is contacting the Pelicans to get Anthony Davis.
Right.
I think that's just kind of the mark he's left on the NBA, and I think he's a great player. Don't get me wrong. I think the dude brings legitimate talent to anywhere he goes. But here in Denver, if he's asking for what he was asking for in LA with, giving up Ball, Kuzma, and Rondo, and some other players.
And that wasn't Anthony Davis asking that. I mean, that's what the Pelicans want.
Right.
We can't go. We can't go and get rid of some of our key components to get
now. If we give away I don't know what our draft picks look like. Anything like that.
A first round pick and maybe one of our key players.
Yeah, maybe like Plumlee or
Well, I don't think Plumlee's gonna carry much weight, but if you give
I definitely wouldn't give up Gary Harris for him. Maybe
that's what I was thinking. Gary Harris and a first round pick.
No, Gary Harris is too young. He's got a lot left on him, a lot of tread left, and he's just too good of a player to pass up like that. You know, he's going to make an impact on this league himself, I think. So for us to go out and just get rid of him and bring in someone who's got twice as many years as he does, then I'm not for it. I mean, like I said, no hate on the dude Anthony Davis, just he's got a high price tag, you know?
Yeah, he does. I mean, he has a huge price tag.
I mean, the dude's been an all-star since he walked into this league.
Right.
So, just a phenomenal player. I just don't think in the long run it'll ever work out for the Nuggets.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, besides being hurt, you know, I mean, he's been a perennial all-star in this league, a force.
And you can't just put one guy on him. He's a mismatch.
No, right.
For just about anybody you put on him.
Yeah, anybody down in the post, he's
Yeah.
going to tear him up
Yeah.
if you try to tackle him or defend him one-on-one.
Mm-hmm. He's like James Harden is. You know,
Right.
you can't just throw one look at him
Right.
and expect it to be okay for the rest of the game. You got
Yeah, you're going to have to
switch it
get
up.
some help, which then that leaves other players. But, I mean, let's not dwell on that too much. I don't know if it's really going to happen. I think Anthony Davis wants to end up in a large market place, you
Right.
know, L.A., New York, you know, somewhere like that. So
Well, and if the Nuggets can, you know, it's like I was talking about before, consistency. If the Nuggets year after year could consistently play up to the NBA standard and find themselves in the playoffs doing big things every year for the next, 5 to 10 years, then there shouldn't be a problem with big name players coming here to Denver.
right.
But
well,
right as it stands right now, we're not that city.
no, we're not. We don't
We have the volume.
We don't have the record, the track record,
Right.
to attract these top tier.
Yeah, now we
you
get
know,
2,
free
3
agents.
rings in here, and then
Right,
that'll
you
change
know.
the whole narrative of the story. But right now, we have the volume here in Denver, it being a big city and everything. Population's growing every day. But like I said, people aren't thrilled to come play basketball here in Denver yet. But I think that could change very well.
Excuse me.
Old man over here trying not to sneeze on the air, I guess.
So,
but
sorry about that.
But anyways, so let me ask you one more thing, and then we'll, probably go to break after that. So we have, I think, 11 games left.
Yeah, 11 games.
What would you say our bare minimum requirement is walking out of those 11 games? How many games do we have to win?
Well, 6 of those 11 are on the road.
Okay.
And here's the teams they are. Indiana tomorrow.
Okay.
We had a close one with Indiana, last week.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to Houston, to Oklahoma City, to Portland, to Utah. That's our road games.
Well, I'm gonna say this right now. The only acceptable loss on that road trip is against Houston. In Houston.
What about at Golden State?
I mean, it's like we were talking about.
So if the Nuggets go, let's just say the Nuggets go 7-4.
That's
The
unacceptable.
rest of the way. But I still think the worst they finish is second seed. I don't think
Yeah, but that's not what you should be aiming for.
No, I know that, and that's not what they're aiming for. I'm just saying if they go 7-4,
Right.
those guys have the mindset they want to go out there and win every single game.
Yeah.
But
And that's very possible too. That could definitely happen. We could
It
go out
could.
there and win 17 straight.
well, and that would be a little nuts,
Right.
You know?
It would be.
But yeah, it's
But
possible.
Far crazier things have happened in
right,
the NBA.
right. I mean, it's possible.
So.
Denver's playing some good team basketball right now.
Right.
So I think it's
Okay, so give me a number.
possible.
What would you?
7-4.
7-4. That's it.
Yeah, I think 7-4 is a good way to finish. I mean, I'd prefer go 9-2, 8-3.
Mm-hmm. See, that's where
if we go 9-2, dude, we're definitely locked as the number 2, maybe even the number 1.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that 8-3 puts you in a comfortable position where you don't have to worry about, I think, OKC coming up.
Houston and OKC are the...
And Portland, I think they have a chance at the number 2 seed as well. So you definitely, those 2 games against Portland, you have to win those. There's no way, and OKC. Because
Right.
You've proven that you can beat OKC already at home and away.
Well, right now, Houston is
4 games back.
4 games back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so Denver goes 7-4. That means Houston would have to go 11-0 to just tie.
Right.
You know, which I don't see that happening.
I don't either. But, James Harden is always, the beard has some ways of pulling some tricky things.
Portland is 5 games behind.
So
like I said, we go 7-4. There's no way Portland can catch us, even going 11-0. So really, the only team, if you go 7-4, the only team you have to worry about is Houston, and it's very
unlikely,
highly unlikely that they're going to win out.
Right.
And tie. And if they did tie, they would probably be on the tiebreaker against us for head-to-head record.
Right. No, 7-4, like you were saying, puts us in a great position to be successful in the playoffs, and really just puts this basketball team on the map for playoff time. Because people are going to be looking at the Nuggets thinking, okay, this is an easy win, and then we're going to come in there and knock some people's boots off.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, with that being said, we're going to take a quick break, and then on the other side, we got a brand new segment coming from your boy Alex Slade called the Mile High Salute. We'll see you on the other side.
Panda. I got broads in Atlanta. Just to throw me in the family. Credit cards and the scammers. Getting the licks in the band. Legacies.
All right, Alex. You got this new segment called Mile High Salute.
Yep. I'm going to give you guys a brief rundown. So, every time we do this show, basically I'm going to come up with one person, whether it's an individual or a team, or anything that really has to do in sports that gives off a positive vibe that, leaves sports fans with something positive to go off of. Whether it's, doing something great for your team, doing something great for your community, anything like that, We just want to see some positive things with all the negative things coming out in the world. Watching the news isn't even intriguing to me anymore because of how negative it is.
Right.
So this is my part trying to put a little bit of positive back into the world. So.
All right. Well, let's hear your first segment of the Mile High Salute.
Okay. So my first one is going to be a very well-known man here in Denver, and his name is John Elway. You may know him. I think you probably do.
Yeah, I've heard of that guy.
Yeah. So, the main reason that I think that this dude gets a Mile High Salute for me and you today is that everything he's done in 2019 in a free agent standpoint, and whether that's
just the off season.
Yeah, just the whole off season. A lot of people have been talking about last year, saying that it was no good, didn't bring it in really, and honestly talking about the last few years with Paxton Lynch and bringing in Case Keenum, things just not working in his favor. Well, this year I think it's going to go completely different, and the reasons why is just the people he signed to kind of reboot this team.
Right.
First one, Joe Flacco. How do you go out and get a talent like that if you're not John Elway?
Right.
That's probably 90% of the reason Joe Flacco decided to come here.
Well, and I mean, let's make it perfectly clear, it wasn't really his choice. I mean, he was traded.
Right.
So.
No, I understand that, but I mean, trading still takes a little bit of negotiation.
Right. No, it does.
And I think that John Elway's, his whole
and
him as a person just kind of.
I think it's a great move on the Broncos' part. There's a lot of people don't like it, but I still think that Flacco has the ability. He can read defenses.
Yeah.
He can throw the ball down the field. Mm-hmm. So, but I'll let you finish up. We'll talk more about that in the Broncos segment. Right. You finish up your Mile High Salute.
Right. So, with that being said, not only Joe Flacco brought in a right tackle in Juwan James and rebooted our secondary now that Aqib Talib has made his way to L.A.
Right.
And we still have Chris Harris, so we have Bryce Callahan, Kareem Jackson, and Chris Harris Jr., not to mention Justin Simmons. And he freed up some cap space by releasing Darian Stewart and convincing Washington to trade for Case Keenum. Like, just a great move in the offseason by all around, did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that Case Keenum one might have been the most brilliant one.
Right. I don't know how he did it. I don't know what he said to Washington, whoever he talked to.
Yep.
But I promise you, if they keep Case Keenum in Washington in the next couple of years, whoever talked to John Elway is losing their job. So, but with that being said, I'm just going to wrap this up. Just want to give a quick Mile High salute to our boy John Elway. And we'll hit you up with a new one next week. Thanks.
All right. Thanks for the segment, Alex.
And with that, we're going to flip it over to a little bit of a break, and then we will come back, and we will talk some Denver Broncos.
One thing that I've tried to work on in my journey of self-development is those soft skills. LinkedIn Learning does a great job with small, bite-sized chunk pieces. I really feel like I'm investing in my future.
Hey, we know you're busy. Patients to take care of, appointments to make, staff to manage, an entire practice that relies on you to run smoothly. That's
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dude, man. Whoa, what is this music?
What do you mean? Come on, man. You know you like it. It's just wait. Just give it a little second. Let me fast forward a little bit. You don't hear that?
Dude, man, you're putting our listeners to sleep out there, man.
This is a nice little relaxing beat. They like it. Come on, it's not.
Do they?
It's not if you don't know about Yoni, no, then what are you doing? So
UOENO?
Yeah, I don't know what it stands for. It's just a great song. It's got Wiz Khalifa in it. He's all about that, rap style.
All right, hey, fans out there, people listen. Let me know what you think of this song here. I'm gonna have to take over the sound clips here pretty soon.
Wow, you put me on blast like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll take a little vote, and if you listen to the show, so what I want you guys to do is if you like my music, just give us a comment, saying that you like Young Slade's music. And then next week
I'll be the music man, and we're gonna have a little music off here.
Yeah, we're gonna see who's the better DJ when it comes to this.
Yeah, we'll
and
see.
I'm just playing instrumentals right now, so let me put that as a little side note that I'm not even playing the real bangers. So if he wants to come at me like that, then I can put this dude down real quick. So just let us know what you think, and we'll We'll get it going. So,
All right.
with that being said, let's move on to the real topic, okay? And that the real topic being the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, Denver Broncos, man.
Not a boring offseason by any means.
No, not at all. I mean, Joe Flacco, they bring him in. I like it. I know there's a lot of people in the local media do not like it.
Right.
I like it.
Now, but the only reason I could see why they don't like it is because right now, our offensive line isn't protecting anybody.
I honestly think our offensive line is going to be much improved next year.
I do too.
One, with Mike Munchak, and two, we just solidified our right tackle position. Ron Leary, if he's healthy next year, should be a force. McGovern's going to probably move to center. Who's good. The only thing I see, maybe being a question mark is left tackle.
Right, Garrett Bowles.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that works. I mean, I don't know if Juwan James can play left tackle. And maybe they flip him. Maybe they put him on the left and put Garrett Bowles on the right. But is Joe Flacco's left hand or right hand?
I believe he's a left-hand quarterback. I could be
And
wrong.
if he is left-handed, I guess we should find out.
Yeah, we should probably look that up. But,
So, if he's left-handed, then Juwan James is going to have his backside. Mm-hmm. So, I can't remember. Gee whiz. I guess you should be a little prepared here.
This is what Google's for.
That's right. That's why we got Google. We got Google. We got ESPN. We got all this fun stuff, So, the Broncos have just made their defense legit, in my opinion. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you look at it like this. Last year, Bradley Chubb, I believe, finished with 13 sacks. And Von Miller had 18 or something in that ballpark. Again, we probably should have been more prepared. I'm just estimating. But anyway, numbers aren't the point right now. The point is basically that Von Miller and Bradley Chubb, by themselves, with basically a very diminished secondary last year, put really great pressure on any team they faced, really,
Yeah, all right. So I've solved the mystery.
Okay, what is it?
Joe Flacco's right-handed quarterback.
Oh, he's right-handed. Okay, so we got the stats. Breaking news: Joe Flacco's right-handed quarterback.
Yeah, and so that means Garrett Bowles is going to have his backside. So Garrett Bowles is.
Well, then it would be a very smart decision, maybe, to see if Juwan James can.
Right,
flip to that.
and maybe
Right.
they try him there in OTAs and in training camp and see how he does, or see if Garrett Bowles is progressing.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe Munchak gets under his skin a little bit, puts a little pep in his step. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I think that with the pass rush that we have here in Denver and what we've done to upgrade this secondary with Justin Simmons, James or Jackson.
Yeah, we got Kareem
Callahan,
Jackson, and then we got
Harris.
Bryce Callahan. So here's what I think. Here's my opinion, because Kareem Jackson can play. He can play corner. He can play safety. Mm-hmm. I think he's probably a better corner, but
Well, yeah, it's his primary position.
Callahan's a good corner. So let's put Harris and Callahan as your corners, and then you roll
Kareem
Jackson back to safety. Now, when we go into a nickel situation, maybe you bring in Will Parks play safety, and then you roll Kareem Jackson
Right. Down to your nickel.
Yeah, down to your nickel, or you move him back over to a regular cornerback position, and you roll Callahan back to your nickel. And maybe that's moving too many parts around, and
Right.
people have to learn too many assignments. So,
But this is the NFL.
Right.
I don't really think confusing people is really a huge problem. Because if...
not everybody. There are some people in the NFL that are highly confused.
Right, no, I understand.
So one of them plays left tackle for us right now.
Yeah, no, I understand. So, but not only that is if we can go out in the draft and get someone additional to add to our defense, that's going to be a key asset from day one. Like Devin White, or even if we go out and get Greedy Williams, which I don't think will
Well,
happen
and I
now.
don't think we need to go after Greedy Williams now. And I think
I
with
mean,
John,
the depth at the cornerback position is never a bad idea.
John Elway has just set himself up. He can either go a defensive pick, with probably Devin White if he's available at 10.
Mm-hmm.
If there's an offensive lineman that's really available,
Right.
or
That makes sense.
Right,
Don't
that
just
makes
go
sense.
grab everybody.
or if a quarterback falls to the Broncos at 10, like Dwayne Haskins.
Right.
Maybe a Drew Lock. I know the Broncos are having both of them in for workouts this week, so we'll see where that goes.
Right.
I've heard now that the asking price, San Diego has offered a second-round pick for Rosen from the Cardinals.
Really?
Yeah, so it really hasn't been
A lot.
it hasn't been, accepted. I think that's just San Diego saying this is what we would give up for him.
It's basically showing what they think he's worth.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think Denver would match a second-round pick.
Yeah, but do we
You know.
really? This is my only problem. We weren't really sold on him when he came through the
I
draft.
think we were sold on him.
No,
though.
there are plenty of times where John Elway has not directly said it, but kind of hinted that they didn't want to go that direction to begin with. There's been times. I mean, I can't pull a specific example. Probably heard it in passing on the radio or
Right.
something like that. But I know that he wasn't thrilled with him when he entered the draft. And there was, we had Josh Allen at the time, Baker Mayfield. I know that we weren't really in the position to go get Baker Mayfield. But he was talking about someone we couldn't even go get way more than he was talking about Josh Rosen.
Right.
So that kind of puts it in perspective that, hey, we weren't really all that interested to begin with. So why roll the dice down?
Well,
It's a year too late. If you're going to roll the dice on this guy, you should have done it from the very beginning.
Do you think that Elway was maybe just sold on Case Keenum and really thought Case Keenum could be the answer for the next 5 to 7 years? And that's why he didn't pursue a quarterback?
I mean, that could be the reason. Or, he was just really thought that none of them really had something to offer, which, in my opinion, the one that turned out the best is obviously Baker Mayfield, but a close second would be Josh Allen. That dude he's a total package.
Well, I think they all have the talent.
I mean,
Rosen's
definitely the smartest out of the three.
You and I, well, you also have Sam Darnold out there.
Yeah.
But I think that Rosen probably was on the worst team out of all of them.
Yeah.
No,
and I'm not saying that the dude can't play ball, but I just don't think that in his second year,
and
with us trying out a new quarterback anyway, in Joe Flacco,
right.
I don't think it's a good look. I think if you're going to start fresh with someone, you start fresh. You get him the day he enters the NFL, or you don't get him at all. I think it's a bad look.
I mean, and I guess, does Josh Rosen fit in the Scangarella offensive scheme?
I mean,
I guess that's
could.
another question.
Yeah.
But the Broncos just signed Kevin Hogan to a 1-year deal to be the backup. And maybe he really is the backup.
Right. What, do you really want that dude backing up?
Who, Kevin Hogan?
Yeah.
I think Kevin Hogan has skills. I think he can
Bring
be
back
good.
Slade.
Well, I don't know.
But there's still plenty of time. I know that we're coming up on draft day here pretty soon.
Yeah, draft's coming up in about 4 weeks, so that's going to be fun when you start preparing for that.
Yeah, that's
Get
gonna be
ready
a good
for
time.
that. Other Bronco news: Emmanuel Sanders seems to be healing up.
Yeah, and he seems to be happy here at Denver.
I think he is. I don't think he wants to leave Denver. I think he wants to honestly finish out his career here. Which hopefully he can. So that'll be
Yeah,
nice.
I'd love to see him retire as a blue and orange.
I like Emmanuel Sanders.
I do too. I think he's in his beginning years, he was kind of, a little loudmouth, did his thing like all NBA or NFL celebrities do, but he's kind of settled down, kind of become a man and played the game of football and shut up about it.
Right.
So I think that he's a great player, and he's definitely a great asset on this team. I mean, just with the leadership that he has, he's helping. He's going to help our guys like Cortland Sutton and whoever the younger guys are on the side on that side of the ball. So having Emmanuel Sanders,
Yeah,
is
I agree.
definitely
I
huge.
mean, if they solidify that offensive line, if the defense plays the way I think the defense can, then all you tell Flacco is, and I hate this term, but I'm going to use it, you go out there and you be a game manager. It's the same thing he did when they won the Super Bowl.
And I'll tell you what, if that's the case where we solidify our offensive line and we get the one, I believe that there's one piece missing on our defense, and that's a linebacker that can guard the tight end position.
Yeah, we need someone who can be a 3-down player, you know, and can cover the tight ends.
Right, but if all that can happen, then Philip Lindsay and Royce Freeman are going to get a lot of touches this year.
Yeah. And
I would look for Philip Lindsay and Royce Freeman to have at least 1,000 yards apiece.
Right, 'cause Joe Flacco's not the light it up, throw 40 touchdowns, you know, kind of guy.
I mean, we can probably expect about what we expected from, or what we got from Case Keenum.
Well, I hope we
About
get a lot better
Yeah.
than.
Well, I'm saying minus the interceptions. He had, I mean, and plus maybe add 5 or 6 more
Yeah,
touchdowns.
I mean, he had 18 touchdowns last year.
yeah,
So
for 4,000 yards almost, you know, which
If
statistically
Flacco-
was
if-
his best year.
if Flacco
You know?
can throw between 50 or 50,
Yeah.
yeah, if he can throw between 50 and 60, I
we'll
mean,
be calling it him Tom Brady
Yeah,
by the end of the year.
I
So-
think if he can throw between 20 and 25, you know, minimize his interceptions. You know,
Yeah, maybe
you want
10.
your interceptions to be in the single digits. You know, you don't want to start creeping into double-digit interceptions. And then, you know, Denver needs to really establish the ground game.
Yeah.
And I think if we can do that with our defense, this team can be competitive next year. And depending on how things shake out in Kansas City, you know, Kansas City might be losing Tyreek Hill now.
Yeah, they're looking a little
You know,
shaky over there. So
Mahomes is losing weapons.
Yeah.
So you're going to see how he is.
yeah,
You know?
and now we got Antonio Brown in the AFC West. That's going to be another guy
Yep.
that our no-fly zone is going to have to come up against.
Yep.
So a lot to expect from this Broncos team. From a year ago, you know, finishing, what was it, 6-10,
Yeah.
to, you know, doing a lot of great moves in the offseason, making this team kind of show its teeth, you know?
Yeah.
Make it known that we're not just going to lay down. We're not just going to say, hey, this is what we expect now. No, we're a winning culture here, and John Elway knows that.
Well, and I think John Elway has taken the approach that we're going to try to win now, but we're also still trying to, and I guess not rebuild, but reload this team.
Yeah.
You know, and reload it for the future.
And I get
it's
why
not
he's
like
doing
he's
it.
getting everybody who has, you know, that has 1 or 2 years left in the NFL.
Right.
I mean, he's getting some guys that will be around for a while. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
and I mean, now with the team that we have, I think that this is going to be, I mean, given after this season, you know, looking way into the future, this is going to be the time where we can now bring in, you know, draft picks and people that aren't technically or even close to being ready for the NFL, and bring them in, train them, and get them out on the field, you know? Get them that time in practice before they even have to worry about stepping onto a real game situation, and make them better players. And I think we can do that if we can hold this team together where it's at right now. So, but with that being said, we're going to flip it to the other side.
yeah, we're going to head to the other side. And when we come back, we'll have another new segment coming up.
One thing that I've tried to
Blast. Blast. Movie pass. Movie pass. Movie pass.
Hey everybody, sorry about that little technical difficulty, and sorry earlier if at the end of that last segment I looked like I was taking a nap or something. Just checking out something on my cell phone, some sports related stuff, so that's what we're supposed to be doing. So,
No cell phones in the squad area.
no
okay?
cell phones in the studio. So, all right, as you saw, we're doing a new segment called Blast to the Past.
Yep.
So, this segment was inspired by a buddy that I work with, Jim Vargas. He works with me at work. He works in the mailroom. We call him and another guy that's in there, Chuck. We call them the mailroom mashup. I mean, these guys.
The mailroom mashup,
Dude,
huh?
these guys do some serious sports talk.
Oh, yeah?
So he come to me. He said, man, why don't you guys ever talk about the old Broncos? I said, nobody wants to hear about the old Broncos.
You know who your co-host is? Youngblood over here.
Yeah, Youngblood over here. So, and I said, nobody wants to hear about it. I said, we're talking about current stuff. And then as I was driving home, I'm like, you know what? Hey, that's a good thing. So, I said, yeah, let's do that. So I told old Vargas that, I would say that this segment has been inspired by him. So
Okay.
he's another one of our listeners now. I think we hooked another one, and
Right.
maybe he'll start spreading it to his friends, especially when we start, throwing his name out there again,
Yeah.
promoting the mailroom mashup. I
Yeah.
think those dudes talk sports 8 hours a day in the mailroom.
They gotta know their stuff. If
Yeah.
you're down
Oh,
there
yeah.
doing it all day, you gotta know. So
Well, I go over there, I talk to him, we'll spend some time talking and stuff like that. So they usually get a sneak preview of the show,
nice.
what I'm going to say, things like that. So they sort of know what's going on. But I said, all right, Jim. So your responsibility is every week you give me a player.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about him.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be a Bronco player. It could be an old Nuggets player. It could be an old Rockies. It could be somebody that played for the Denver Bears, back in the...
Way
Man,
back in the day.
Now we're born new, huh?
Yeah.
So...
Now it's just playing.
But... So he said, okay. I said, well, give me one for this weekend. He said, dude, I want you to talk about my all-time favorite. He said, my boy Bobby Anderson.
Bobby Anderson.
I said, done. We'll talk about it. So Bobby Anderson, for you people out there, especially you young people don't know, Bobby Anderson, born in Michigan, moved to Boulder. Well, he didn't move his family.
Right,
Well, he
right.
moved, but it's not like he just said, peace, I'm
Right.
out.
2 years old, I'm walking out.
As a young kid, his family moved from Michigan to Boulder, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his older brother Dick.
His older brother Dick.
Well, that's his name.
It's just
So him and his brother Dick Anderson.
yeah.
Boy, the mentality level of this one over here.
Hey man, sometimes the way you say things is a little bit funny.
So they used to play football in their backyard.
Yeah.
And they used to pretend like they were the big stars at CU at the time. So,
What year was that?
oh gee whiz. So he played at CU from 67 to 69.
Oh wow! So we talking about way.
Yeah, we're talking
way-
back in the 50s and stuff when
Was
him
this,
and his brother
was this
were.
even broadcast on TV or were they just doing radio?
I don't know, man.
Oh, we
Well,
gotta-
they had TV back then. Come on,
Right.
we're not that old.
I know, but they didn't start broadcasting.
So-
I don't think.
So, like I said, Bobby Anderson, he went to Boulder High School here in Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
and he played quarterback for the team.
Okay.
So, and he went to Colorado, University of Colorado, and he was the quarterback for him. And I think he may have been one of those first dual threat type quarterbacks because he was a runner and a passer.
Right.
And he did a really good job there. His senior year at CU. The Buffs were a good team. They were decent, and they were suffering a lot of injuries at the running back position.
Mm-hmm.
So Coach Crowder came up to Bobby Anderson and said, "I need you to play running back." And Bobby Anderson said, "You know what? I'm quarterback."
Right.
But he said, "You know, if that's what you need, Coach, that's what I'm going to do."
Dang, that is
You
a
know?
team player.
Team player. So
You ask anybody to do that
Yeah.
now, they'd be like, nope. Mm-mm.
So Bobby Anderson, he plays, and I mean, he starts rolling off games.
Yeah.
I mean, impressive. I mean, he was a dual threat quarterback, so he could run.
Mm-hmm.
So then Colorado goes to the bowl game. They go to the Liberty Bowl, which back then the Liberty Bowl was a big time game.
Mm-hmm.
So Colorado
Everybody
goes to
watches
the
bowl games,
Liberty
yeah.
Bowl, and guess who their opponent is?
Huh.
Bear Bryant and the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Oh, man.
So what's everybody thinking? Well, you're just going
That's
to get
a loss.
shellacked,
Yeah.
Well, Bob Anderson goes in there, runs for 254 yards, 3 touchdowns, and CU beats Alabama. Bear Bryant and the Crimson Tide.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So Broncos, of course, took notice of this,
Well, of course they did,
And with the 11th pick in the NFL draft, the Broncos drafted Bobby Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
His older brother Dick went on to be a member of the Miami Dolphins, played secondary for him.
Okay.
He was a member of the Dolphins team that went undefeated. That nobody's broke that record yet.
Oh, you're talking about the 72 Dolphins?
72 Dolphins,
Oh,
yep.
okay.
So Dick Anderson was a member of that team.
Sounds like they got some good genes.
Yeah, good genes. So I don't know what their dad did. I didn't really find a lot about his dad. I don't know if he was just a used car salesman or what he was.
Well, whatever he was, he's got to be proud of his boys.
Yeah, definitely does. So the Broncos selected him. He played from 70 to 73 with the Broncos. A lot of injuries. He ended up having 3 surgeries.
Mm-hmm.
And then he, after the 73 season, he missed the entire 74 season. Mm-hmm. And then 75, he played part of the season with the Patriots, part of it with the Redskins, and then I think he played a little bit with the Cowboys.
Kind of finding his way out the league.
Yeah, so, and unfortunately, he was a good talent,
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he didn't make it because of injuries. So, but he's out in California now. Mm-hmm. Still an avid Buffs fan for a while. He was a voice on the Buffs games.
Nice.
He would call the Colorado football games, but he's since located out to California. But he still is a huge backer of the Colorado Buffaloes. Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention when he was in high school, his senior year, he was named Mr. Colorado in sports.
Nice.
So
sounds like just off the top of my head, and I said this earlier to you, but kind of an old school Philip Lindsay.
Yeah,
Colorado,
Colorado,
not born,
right,
but raised.
Raised here, goes to high school here, goes to CU, and then becomes a Denver Bronco.
Right.
So
it doesn't
little
happen
hometown
like,
hero,
Yeah, and it doesn't happen like that very often.
No, it doesn't. So, but anyway, that's our segment of blast to the past.
Yep, and it's definitely been a blast to the past.
So you guys let us know what you think of that. If it's something that we want to keep up and doing.
Yeah.
I think it'll be neat. If you guys want to hear about anybody, just leave us a comment on our Facebook page. We'll
and same goes with the Mile High Salute. If you have someone that you think is doing an outstanding job in this sports world, let me know. Let us know, and we'll get them on here. So.
Right. So, all right, everybody. Thanks a lot for that. And when we come back, we'll talk about a little bit about the NCAA basketball tournament, and also we will talk about Colorado Rockies and the Colorado Avalanche. So we'll be back here in a few minutes. All right, everybody. We're a little mellow here in the studio today.
Yeah.
With a little bit of Meek Mill.
Yeah.
Don't ask me who Meek Mill is.
Hey.
This is the instrumental for Going Bad.
Featuring Drake.
Featuring Drake.
My boy Drizzy Drake Rogers.
Well, I just don't understand how it features Drake if it's just instrumental.
Well, yeah, he hasn't been. I don't know either. Don't ask me.
Maybe Drake's playing the piano or something.
Yeah, probably. I doubt it. But, but anyways, so we're gonna jump right into it.
Yeah.
It's March Madness, eh?
It is March Madness.
I'm gonna say this very first. Old Slade over here. Way more excited about this than I am. I'm an NBA basketball kind of guy. He's more of the college guy. So anything that goes on here, he's got the facts.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows who I'm pulling for.
Yeah.
LSU.
Yeah.
You know? Man, I'll tell you what, these boys are giving me some high blood pressure, though.
You guys should have seen him.
I mean, we played Yale the other day. We had an 18-point lead, and the next thing you know, we have to hang on at the last second to beat Yale.
Yale?
Yale.
Yale.
Those dudes were doing some serious math on us, man.
That's an Ivy League school, right?
Yeah, they were throwing down some math equations that were just messing our SEC boys up.
Yeah,
man.
I bet you they were doing calculus over there, doing something.
Yeah, they're doing something, but they came back on us. They start getting their angles down and everything. They're burying some threes.
Geometry's on point, you know, all that good stuff.
So, but they hang on, they win that. And then we face up with Maryland.
Yep.
And we get up by 15 points.
Yep.
And what happens? Here we go. And I know Maryland wasn't doing math.
No, hell no. I mean, in the Big Ten, you think they're doing math?
No, not no Big Ten schools, you know. So, sorry, Bob. So, but, you know, I don't know, man.
It's just...
Again, we even got down in this game. Mm-hmm. You know, had to come back. You know, so I'm going to say a lot of grit, you know, but...
Yeah.
You saw me in action.
I know. I saw you the minute that the game started getting close. Your boy Smart, I think that's his last name, right? The number
Javante Smart, number one.
Yeah, started jacked up a three I think 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and my dad is over here tossing his hat to the ground, huffing and puffing, just getting all mad, you know.
Man, the guys were taking some ill-advised shots.
Yep. No.
I mean, it's not... Dude, you got Nas Reed in there.
Mm-hmm.
Get the dude the ball in the post and let him make those guys foul him.
Yeah.
But you know what? You know what else was making me mad? That dude was getting mugged.
Yeah.
And they weren't calling nothing.
Well, not only that, the defense on LSU was a little lax. I mean, you got Steve Urkel
second half
over there in the corner burying threes, you know, like...
Right.
What do you... We got the dude with the big old glasses, can't even see. Looks like he got some Coke bottle glasses.
Number 25 for Maryland, yeah.
Can't even see the basket, but he's draining threes on you, you know, so...
Superpower glasses.
Right, I don't know what he drank or what he ate for breakfast this morning, but it had to be his Wheaties.
Yeah.
But anyway... LSU ended up pulling that game out, I believe, right?
Yeah, they did. They won that one. So
on to the Sweet 16.
Sweet 16.
Yeah.
So let me tell you this. I told you about my boy Jay, Iowa State fan.
Yeah.
You know, been trying to get that boy to make a bet with me. Mm-hmm. Well, I think we finally, agreed we were on a bet. It was just whoever goes further in the tournament, the other one wins. Mm-hmm. So
what's the winner get?
We get a Western cheeseburger from Good Times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's probably even the combo meal, man.
Oh, man, drink and fries.
Real. But I'll tell you what happened yesterday. Iowa State won and done.
Oh, they lost. Oh,
yep. Ohio State took them out.
Yeah, well,
yep.
Another Big Ten school.
So let me. For the last 14 years before this tournament, every year in the first round. For the last 14 years, the 6th seed has got knocked out. Mm-hmm. There's 4 11-6 matchups because there's 4 regions, in the first round. So 3 of them are already played, and those 3 they all won, all the 6 seeds.
Yeah.
And I even picked it on my bracket. I called this one.
Let me see.
Well, this isn't my bracket,
okay.
so. But I got my bracket in email. I can show it to you later. But
I'll get the proof.
So I picked Ohio State to beat Iowa State. Iowa State's a 6 seed. They continue the streak. Now 15 years in a row, a 6 seed has been knocked out in their first round.
Oh man!
So 11's beat a 6, 15
Well,
straight.
let's hope the rest of your bracket is as accurate as that.
Well, it's all right. I mean, last I heard, I was in second place in the pool at Diana's work. So
okay.
we'll see how it goes. So now we got the. We're waiting for the winner of Minnesota and Michigan State.
Okay.
That's who LSU will play in the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
So
one game that I was, just blown away by, and I don't know how it actually turned out. I didn't end up getting to watch the end of the game. Was that Kentucky versus Woolriff or Wolof? I don't remember the school, but it.
now let me rewind. That was already Sweet 16
Oh,
that we won.
so you're on the Elite Eight.
We'll be playing Elite 8. I don't know why they haven't updated this, so we'll be playing against the winner of Michigan State, Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
So
All right. But anyway, back to what I was talking about.
sorry about that.
The Kentucky, wow.
Wildcats?
Well, the game they played in today, Walla.
Oh, Wofford.
Yeah, Wofford. That's what it was. Well, that Wofford team kind of had them for a minute. I don't know what the final score ended up being.
It's a close game, 62-56.
Yeah,
I mean, Wofford came to play.
Yeah.
So Kentucky now is ready, and they'll take on the winner of the Houston-Ohio State game.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say it for my buddy Bob Gelchin out there, but
looks like you're going to suffer a loss at the hands of the Wildcats.
well, no, they're going to suffer a loss at the hands of the Houston Cougars.
Oh, you think Houston's going to beat them?
Oh yeah, Houston, man, Houston poured it on Georgia State, 84-55. Houston's a good ball club, man.
No, I believe it, but
They're a good team.
But
so,
to take out a team like Ohio State, that's a basketball school too. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, they're all right. I mean, Houston's a basketball school too.
Okay.
So, but that's how it's going right now.
Like I said, I'll believe
not
anything.
Not gonna run down everyone, but
right.
We're getting ready to get into the Elite 8.
Yeah, let's just keep an eye on that.
Wait up. Okay, I'm confused here. All right, we're going to the Sweet 16. I'm all jacked up. I'm sorry, everybody. Yesterday was 64, or Thursday, Friday was the round of 64.
Mm-hmm.
Today was round of 32.
Mm-hmm.
We're now in the Sweet 16.
Okay.
LSU against the winner of Michigan State, Minnesota.
Okay.
This bracket's sort of
wonky.
The way they have it is
Yep.
sort of wonky.
Yep.
So first round was Thursday, Friday. Second round was today and tomorrow, and then Sweet 16 starts March 28th and 29th.
Okay, so just as a so you can't change it in the future. Who you got winning it?
The whole thing?
Yeah.
My bracket, I picked Tennessee to win it all.
Tennessee. Okay.
Tennessee against Michigan State.
And what seed were they?
Tennessee is a 2 seed.
2 seed. Okay.
Yep. So
coming out of the East.
They're in the South.
South.
So the 1 seed in that one is Virginia.
Okay.
So I have Michigan State and Tennessee advancing to the final game, and then Michigan or Tennessee winning it all.
Okay.
So I have Tennessee, Kentucky, Michigan State, and Florida State going to the Final Four.
Well,
that's what I have. So
I'm gonna need a copy of that bracket because I know that once this is all said and done, you're gonna be like, "Oh no, I had a pick. I had a pick." And I'm just.
I really, really hope that LSU can beat Michigan. Well, if they play Michigan State. Michigan State has beat Minnesota. Minnesota, they played some good ball yesterday. I mean, they beat Louisville 86-76. So
okay.
Michigan State struggled for a while against Bradley. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting tournament.
Yep.
We got plenty of basketball left to watch.
Yep.
So for all you college hoop heads out there, just keep it going.
Keep it going.
Like we've been saying this whole time, if you have an opinion, Drop it on our
Give it to us.
YouTube, Facebook. I know my old man's on Twitter. I don't really do that.
Yeah.
But whatever you got, whatever social platform you guys have, email. I don't even care. I'll give out my email if you need it.
Yeah, we got the Colorado Rockies. They're wrapping up spring training.
Yep.
You know, so they'll be starting some baseball, some real baseball here in about a week and a half.
Yep, that'll be exciting.
The Colorado Avalanche.
They still suck, but
Well, let's just go here and let's say this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They are in the last playoff spot right now.
oh, okay. So they could get in. But is it really worth it?
Is it really worth it? Right. You want to play Calgary? You want to play San Jose? You know what?
You really want to.
but
they
it's
do
experience.
best out of 7 series in hockey, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
do you really want to do 4 games and then just go home?
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So, hey guys, everybody, thanks for
Sticking with us.
spending a Saturday afternoon with us. You know, early into the evening.
Yep.
You know, we appreciate you guys.
Yep. And
All of our listeners out there, not sure how many we really have out there, but we're going to run a poll on Facebook, and we want to find out how many people really, tune into this show and listen to us on a regular, not even regular basis, do you
if
tune
you've
in?
just popped us on a couple times, just let us know.
Do you do you listen to 15 minutes of the show and shut it down, or
whatever it is, whether you have a favorite segment, you'd like one episode, just let us know what we're doing that you like, so we can continue to get it going for you guys. We love making you guys happy. We want to see as many viewers as we can. So if you like us, give us a like, share us on Facebook or any social media platform, and don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. With that being said, me and David are about to sign out, and we'll see you guys again next week.
All right, you guys, take it easy. We'll see you next week.
And this has been another episode of Slade Sports Squad. Go Tigers!